It's Doom Tower time. Hard Magma Dragon, floor 100. We're going in with epics only on this one and a bunch of different teams you can use that can beat this boss. So this is how to beat it when you don't have all the legendaries and mythicals. So before we do that though, click the link in the description below and you can add yourself a brand new account. Get Karato, the legendary nuker. Get Tagoar, the great epic. When you hit level 15, just follow 4 steps. Step 1, log out of Play and Play on the PC and uninstall. Step 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3, launch raid, complete the tutorial. Step 4, Karato sitting there in the inbox. All right, you got Karato now and you're back to the videos. So here's my epic team I'm gonna start with. As I said, I will show you multiple teams. So if you don't have these champs, don't worry, I'll show you how to beat it with other ones and I'll talk about what roles you need. So let's get into this one and we'll talk about the boss mechanics and stats while they're beating the boss, and you can see that. So some key stats with this boss. He has 175 speed, so he is not a speedy. So you can get in there and get debuffs up, get your buffs up if you want. Relatively slow team. You do need 355 accuracy to land your debuffs. You need 355 resist if you want to resist the boss, for which skills you can be resisted. The boss mechanics, when we hit him, he has 2 strong AoEs that can really hurt your team. He does some really good damage at these higher floors. And one of them, so both those hit hard, and then if he uses his A1, he targets your enemy with Hex, and he puts Hex on the enemy with the lowest HP on your team, unless he gets provoked, of course. And he will ignore unkillable block damage. He reduces the turn meter by 50%, and he ignores 100% of the defense. So you'll see on this run when Husk lands his provoke and he gets hit by the boss pretty much kills. So unfortunately, Rector Draft's now going to waste her revive on Skullcrown, who we wanted to save for Husk, who's going to die later. But oh well, that will slow my run down. So tactics to beat the boss skills I just talked about with those 2 hard-hitting AoEs. If you get Provoke up there, which a Husk does on this team, he will attack that single target provoker. He won't use his 2 AoEs. That's the best way to stay alive on this boss. Second best way is decreased attack. I have Rector Draft and I have Stagnite on this team, both of which put decreased attack out. That lowers his damage by 60%. You can take those hits with epics that aren't built to be tanky, except for maybe Rector Draft. They're not really built to be tanky on this team, but they're taking some of those AoEs when Husk decides not to land the provoke and when we take a hit. So provoke and decreased defense are really the 2 key debuffs. And I'll show you how to find them too when this run ends. From there, cleanse, healing, ally protect, revive on death, revivers, any combination of those in these slots can help. I'm going to show you some teams that go a little slower because they're safer. And this team was intended to try and be a little faster for epics only. Because I brought more attack-based with like Skullcrown to help clear the waves. You could take Skullcrown out and put somebody in that can help keep it alive. If I brought a second reviver in, Husk would be up more often and he'd be able to get his provokes out there more often. So anyway, that's the boss stats, that's the boss mechanics, that is how you beat him with tactics. And these guys are about to finish off this boss, and I'm going to go show you some substitutions for these champs, and then also I'm going to bring some to life and bring extra teams in as well. All right, kill his boss off, please. Kill him! Kill him! Thank you. All right, so we had Skullcrown in there doing about 900,000, Husk coming in with 1.5 million, Stagnite doing a respectable 700. Deacon actually outdamaged him, so that's kind of surprising to me. And Rector chipping into 257 too. And you can see Rector Brath brought in 866,000 in heals in the green there, so that's pretty helpful. So, you know, she was my big healer there. Deacon does put in Leech, which allows everybody to heal themselves. So you can see Husk actually got 200,000 in heals. That's coming from Deacon's Leech. When Husk hits the boss, he gets heals through that Leech. So some of these numbers are actually due to Deacon's healing. All right, and then we also had UDK in there. So UDK can bring provokes in there. You got Molly, you got Drexthar, who's a free champ you can get from the Bazaar. Contra's not as reliable because she only puts it up. You got Vizix, who's a daily login champ. She's great at it. And then you got epics in here too. So if I filter out the legendaries, you got Duck the Pierce in there, you have Vogoth who can do it, you have Husk, Seeker, Gnarlhorn even. Giscard is actually a champ that can do some damage. You got Umbral Enchantress who's a sub as well. So you've got a number of veteran actually. So veteran's actually a Vanguard. So you've got a number of champs in here that can do it. Just remember they have to have 355 accuracy to land that debuff. So plenty of provoke champs. Now let's go look at the decreased attack champs, and you'll actually actually notice that some of them overlap. So once again, I already mentioned Wixwell has both, but there's UDK again that has both provoke and decreased attack. You've got champs like Newt and Artak are great if you have them. You know, champs like Necmo. But Drexthar, once again, free champ you can get. He has both decreased attack and provoke, so he can be helpful. You do have champs like Venomage, who can also put poisons up. And if I search again and take out the legendaries, you can see, look at all the epics I have that do decreased attack. There's a lot of them in there. Rector Drath is definitely one I would point out. Ursula the Mourner is a really good champ as well that can also revive and put out decreased attack. You've got Volgoth in there. You've got Aox. So there's a lot of good champs in here that do decreased attack and actually can bring multiple skills to this boss. So, and then, you know, like I just showed you, Stag Knight can actually lower decreased defense on the waves, get some wave clearing in, as well as decreased attack. So look for your champs and look to see who you have. As long as you can get provokers and decreased attacks in, I think this boss is quite doable. All right, let's get into it and find some more teams then. All right, that's the next team we're bringing in. I substituted most everybody here. So switching my decreased attack champ to Ursula the Mourner. She can also be a reviver. I got Godseeker in there as a second reviver. I got Husk in there for the HP Slam and the Provoke. I've got Seeker in there as he's supposed to be a Provoke champ, but I don't think he has enough accuracy, so he's probably just a turn meter booster. And I've got Magnar in there for clearing waves, although interestingly, I got a bunch of magic champs in there and I brought a Spirit Nuker in, so that might not go as well as I hoped it would, and he left the magic stamp standing, so take him a little longer. I'll bring him back for this team closer towards the boss here, so I'm not wasting your time on waves. So you already saw boss mechanics, but basically we got decreased attack out there right away. We were hoping Husk would land his provoke. He decided not to, so we got HP burn on us, and we don't have a cleanser, so we are going to take some HP burn. This team will, I think, go through pretty healthily here. We'll get between Godseeker and Ursula, they'll keep picking people back up. So as long as we can keep decreased attack out there and provoke out there, this team should be pretty safe. It's not like you need to be 100% Doom Tower. I think these guys will be slower than the last team, but it just shows you another combination where I really didn't bring in you know, the same champs on the last one where, you know, I had Rector Drath in there, for example, who had both the decreased attack and revive for her. I subbed out for Ursula. So just showing different combinations of champs in there. And arguably, Seeker is a wasted spot on this team where you could have brought somebody in with a more functionality at the boss. But I just wanted to try somebody who can actually boost turn meter in that case. So just different options. I'll be back at the end. All right, so 5 minutes, 9 seconds. Not the fastest team I've had. But safe. I mean, it was real smooth, as I said, with both Ursula and Godseeker in there as revivers, especially with Godseeker's revive on death. You know, she just pops somebody up with her passive. It gets them right back in the fight faster instead of waiting for that skill to cycle back around. So you can see, you know, both Husk and Magnar doing a lot of damage, and then Seeker actually, he didn't land any provokes. So if you can put your accuracy on your Seeker, he'd be far more effective in this fight. I don't have enough accuracy on him. He does not have 355 accuracy. He's on my clan boss team. He doesn't need that much accuracy. So I didn't put it on him, but he was just boosting turn meter and he was doing some damage. So million damage. So that's that team. Let's go find another one for you. All right, next team I'm trying out. And I think I'm just proving that Geomancer's not the best in the game everywhere. This boss will convert HP burns into continuous heals, which you can see up at the top. So he converted Geomancer's HP burn into heal, but if you bring in a heal reduction champ, you can stop that from happening. So I brought in Geomancer. He uses his HP burn. I've got Hellborn Sprite in there who's then doing heal reduction, and Husk, which is doing his abilities. So really, since he's converting the HP burn anyway, Geomancer's pretty useless in this fight because he's not doing the damage, because the HP burn's not even staying on the boss. He's got a passive to reduce damage that we take, but I don't even know if he has to have his HP burn up there to do that. So really, this is Husk's fight, and he's just going to be our damage dealer. So I wanted to try the HP burn heal reduction strat, but I probably didn't even think through the fact that the HP burn's instantly gone. So short story is, Geomancer sucks in this fight at least. All right, I'll come back at the end. All right, that ends my 6.5 minute waste of my life to show you why you don't bring HP burn into this fight, because it doesn't do any good. But Husk got us through 6.5 minutes. All right, let me come back with a more practical team. Well, I gave it a shot. I tried the all rare team. The optimizer told me no one has ever beat it with all rares. So we did make it through to the boss. We did make the boss about 40% down on health, but then yeah, it goes horribly wrong. I don't have any healing on the team. I don't have a cleanser, so maybe Reliquary Tender instead of Renegade to try and bring somebody back up and do some healing, but I don't know. I don't think you could take the boss down fast enough is the problem. So, well, that's a fail, but we gave it a shot. Have some fun. All right, let me come back with Epic Team. All right, next team in. Substituting some champs, so there's some you haven't seen here. I took Husk out because he's been in every one so far. We're going to use Vogoth as our provoker in this one, just showing you can use different provokers. Rector's in there for decreased attack. Aox brings decreased attack. Vayne brings decreased attack. If we don't land decreased attack, this team failed. And I've got Dythy in there just as the wave clear. So I've shown Skull Crown. I've used Husk as the wave clear. This one's just bringing in Dythy to see what Dythy can do. So I was hoping he'd clear everybody there, but he didn't. So he can get a bunch of turns, so he'll get us through to the boss. Everybody else is just A1ing really until we hit the boss. So I'll skip these and I'll bring you back and we'll see how we do. All right, so they were chunking along. So we're at 229. So Dythy and Fane, you know, without having a max HP champ in there, Dythy and Fane are doing well. And then Aox actually getting up there with the poison. So 235, that's our best time yet. Wow, look at that. So Dythy, 1.8 million. So clearing the waves and doing some work at the boss. Fane coming in with 1.5 million. And then Rector and Vogoth just keeping people alive. And all three of those first three champs, Rector, Drath, Vogoth, and Aox, bring heals. So kept the team alive. Nobody really, it was really smooth. So 235, pretty good. That's our new best time. I'm actually surprised by that, if you can tell. So take out the max HP champs, and there you go. Can clear it pretty quickly. So let me bring, I might tempted to bring in all max HP champs and just see if we can beat 235 with no max HP. I'll be back. All right, dangerous team that may fail, but I'm just gonna try and go for speed here. 3 Husks, a Dythy, and a Deacon. I'll be back and we'll see if they die in a Fury Glory or they actually bring to glory. Yeah, well, that didn't go well now, did it? Got the boss pretty low, but yeah, the no revivers. Well, we gave it a shot. Let's try another team. Well, since that team went down in flames, I decided to give them a little support and see how they do. So I still tried a few Husks just to see how fast it was. Threw Deacon in there to speed it up and to some decreased defense, and Rector to keep them alive. 412. So nowhere near as fast as the 235 team with no max HP champs. So I guess interesting to see. The pure damage dealers have been a lot faster than the max HP champs so far. So I could try a Royal Guard, just so if you're thinking about Royal Guard, he's just negative affinity to this boss. So I've been trying to use the force affinity champs. All right, maybe I'll do one more team and see what we can do with that. Well, we're coming down to the wire here. We might have a new winner. 235 is the time to beat. Oh, for the win. 2 Cold Hearts. Subbed out the 2 Husks, brought in 2 Cold Hearts. So Deacon, 2 Cold Hearts Husk, and Rector Drath with the win, 218. Wow. So what I think happened here is the 3 Husks I had slow on the waves because I was saving their max HP hits for the boss. Whereas the Cold Hearts, I can save their Heart Seekers, but they have the A1s and A2s that are AoEs. They got through the waves faster. And then you still had 3 max HP hits at the boss. So I was dissing the max HP champs, saying straight damage dealers are better, but hey, 3 max HP champs just beat those guys. So 218, new record for the Epics and Rare Only team. They're not speed teams, but hey, for a team that's that accessible, 218 on floor 100 Hard Doom Tower, I'm pretty happy with that. So I got more champs I could play with. You got Eurogrims, Skiramis, Umbral Enchantress. But I think we've hit the point of diminishing returns. You can see, look, this boss you can take down with full auto teams, epics, rares. It's not a hard boss to beat. You just got to have the provoke. You got to have decreased attack with enough accuracy to land at 355. I won't take you through all the champ builds. Really, you just got to have debuffers with 355 accuracy. After that, it's just, hey, damage dealers have damage stats and everybody else make them tanky. So it's really all you had to do. So pretty happy with that one. I will do a follow-up video on this boss, so it's on the channel that has the speed teams that this video didn't have. So appreciate it if you made it this far. Thanks for watching.